Hello, I'm Katie Nelson. I'm the Senior Asset Manager for the UK and Ireland portfolio here at Kadans UK. Kadans are part of a European business. We are a specialist provider of technical real estate, and what we mean by technical real estate is anything from laboratories to GMP units and any other specialist assets. And we have campuses specialising in agri and food tech, life sciences, including deep into biotechnology, as well as all the way through to semiconductor manufacturing plants. So very much in the technical real estate and those businesses that want to improve our world, our lives, and our health. And that's really important to us. So I look after the whole UK portfolio, everywhere from King's Cross right the way up to Scotland, out to Ireland, Manchester, and everywhere else in between. So I get to see lots of interesting markets. And what does that mean for us, particularly being on all of those locations? Well, it's about entering new markets in some locations and where we want to really go in and make an impact. And that's something that's really personal to Kadans, particularly when we're going into new locations that are very much regeneration area. And a good example of that is our Sycamore House in Stevenage, which is an asset opposite the previous GSK campus, which has now recently received a lot of inwards investment. That's a location that was never really at the forefront of people's minds when you thought about science and innovation in a community that in some areas is quite deprived. We have built a successful scheme there where we've brought in a lot of other businesses and growing biotechs and supported what was already there from an infrastructure perspective. But what we've done in terms of our community impact is working with our partners in the wider collaborations, so GSK, Stevenage Bioscience Catalyst, the Cell and Gene Therapy Catapult, Stevenage Borough Council, and Hertfordshire LEP, partnering with various colleges and schools about going into the community and giving opportunities for people to get into the science sector and understanding what a career would be like in this particular job role, and making it more accessible. Another really good example of where we're really embedding into a community as well is our assets in King's Cross. So we have 5 to 10 Brandon Road, our brand new asset that will PC in March next year. That sits within the borough of Islington. We have a further 2 developments there next door, number 4 Brandon Road and behind 18 to 20 Tile Yard. It is in very much a industrial, historically industrial location that hadn't really had much investment or care looked after in that location, and particularly surrounded by quite a deprived borough and a deprived area in some points. So what we're going in here now is to regenerate the area and make it into a life science cluster too. And we're seeing further investment come in and other opportunities to continue to expand in this location. But what does that mean for the people of Islington? Well, one, we've gone through a very lengthy educational process, partnering with the local council and understanding to them so that they can be informed for their local people as to what does it mean to have laboratories in this space. You know, typically people who aren't associated with this sector or anything to do with science, you think of harmful chemicals, you think of nasty experiments, and you know, there's a concern for local people who don't know what's going on behind closed doors as to what's it's going to affect their daily life. So being able to partner with the council, get them to understand what these assets are like, what happens here, what the benefits are, you know, including to potential not only health innovations, but what can you give back to the community? So that they can be prepared and make sure that they're protecting their local constituents and have a positive impact onto the local community. So not only have we started partnering with that, we've actually gone out and starting to engage with local community groups too, whether that's attending the Cali Festival, which was bringing lots of different people from all kinds of diverse backgrounds together of the borough of Islington and supporting that, and again being forward facing as who we are as developers, and right the way to partnering with us. We have a school literally 2 minutes down the road, which is a primary school. We've been engaging with the head teacher. We've got kids from the local school to come and do site visits with our contractor Morgan Sindel, understanding what it would be like to get jobs in construction, but also starting a process where we can also educate them about jobs into science and other areas of technology. And I also forgot to mention about Sycamore House. We purchased that asset from GSK. It was originally their archive centre for their for their bigger facility across the road, and we actually kept that building in its original form, i.e. a warehouse. I've been told that previously, when it was the archive centre, there was no natural light. It was very, very dark, and I've actually shown a few people around the space since we've redeveloped it who previously worked there, and they were mesmerised by what it is that we've done. We've cut in lots of natural roof lights, and part of our design and our philosophy at Kadans is about really focusing on our communal space. So we've really pushed the asset as much as we possibly can to provide the maximum amount of communal areas that is, knocked off of your lettable areas. And traditionally, as an investor and as a real estate provider, you want to maximise your lettable area. So a lot of people are really surprised in the amount that we've provided here. We've got 2 internal winter gardens, we've got a whole cafe, we've got a completely huge informal kind of seating area, cafe area just for informal meetings, as well as something like 6 to 8 different communal meeting rooms that are just completely free of charge for the tenants that are there. So that's really fantastic in terms of the quality of space that we've been able to bring here, and particularly to an area that was very, very heavily industrialised, to have this fantastic working space. It's really fantastic and well received by our tenants.